So, what I'm going to be talking about today is basically a buyer's guide for a beginner that's buying a used car. And based on my experience, I'm going to be going over a few points that I have learned from buying a used car. So, the first thing when you're buying a used car, you want to do is to look at the title. Is the title a rebuild title? And if the title is a rebuild title, then that already can tell you a great deal that something was wrong. The car was total, so that's why the title is rebuilt. And this is important because you can know that something major was wrong with the car. That's why it had to be rebuilt. So it may have been in an accident, it may have been in a flood, something of the sort. So that's the first red flag. Let's say you try the vehicle and you like it, everything is okay with it. You can also use this fact as a bargaining point, right? And get to lower the cost of the vehicle. So, after that little session, what you can now do is inspect the car. As I'm saying, this is for a beginner, right? So let's say you're a beginner, you really don't know much about car. Look for things that are not normal, imperfections, right? Like this car, for example, has a rebuild title. You can look, the airbag was blown, so that could tell that the car was in an accident, right? More than likely a front end collision. So what you want, the car was in an accident and it had a collision at the front. How do I know that? You can look at where the different parts of the car meet, and you notice that they're not even, they're not flushed. That way you could tell that this car had some front end job done. If you can see right here, it's not flush. My hand is not going over. Whereas you can see from a car that has not been in an accident, everything is flushed. So that already you can tell. You can see this headlight is brand new, and this one is older. So you can already tell that it had an accident on this side. You can of course pull the hood, look if there's anything out of place, whatever. And that brings me back to an important point. As a beginner, it makes all the sense that you take someone with you that is experienced, maybe a mechanic, somebody who has like a scan tool or something. Having a scan tool, it can already tell that there is several things. The scan tool, you plug it on the computer and it tells you whatever is wrong with the car once the internet started and all that stuff. So it's great to take a mechanic with you or someone with a scan tool. Yeah, once you have done like those little bodily inspections to see if there are imperfections and to see what the history of the car is without someone actually telling you, because of course the dealer is not going to tell you, or the person selling you the car is not going to tell you everything that's wrong with the car. They want to sell it, and they want to sell it for a highest price as possible. So all of these things that you have looked at and see that they're not perfect, you can use those as a bargaining chip to lower the price of the car. So seeing all these things, the car has been in an accident, all that stuff, it's not to say that, oh, you should not buy the car, because it could have been an accident, but it's a perfectly fine car. It just has those cosmetic imperfections, which it may be important to some people, it may not be important to others, as well as you can only afford something that's not perfect. So yeah. So yeah, again, as a beginner, another important thing you want to do before you buy a car, even after inspecting the car and it looks okay or it's acceptable to you, is that you want to take this car for a test drive. And don't just drive this car for 5 minutes. If you can take this car for a drive like 20 minutes, half an hour, it's better the longer you can get for a test drive, because it may show you something that may not happen in 5 minutes, but it may happen in 10 minutes. When you're doing this test drive, you want to listen for abnormal sounds, a lot of squeaking and all that sound. If there's a lot of squeaking, then there may be something wrong. Well, like there is something wrong. You want to do a fast test. You want to drive at a fast speed. You want to stop. You want to test the brake. You want to test everything. If it doesn't feel right, then something is wrong. and if something is wrong, it may end up costing you. And you want to try to change, reverse, drive the car in reverse. Also, try to drive the car over like a little bump and to see how it reacts. Test the handling, everything. You want to test this car thoroughly, and this is coming. This is assuming that you're a beginner. You know, these are the things that you should look out for. Anybody in general, but as a beginner, you need to know these things because you will end up buying a car that is a lemon, basically, that will end up costing you a whole lot in the end. So it is important to do a full inspection. Make notes of things that you need to check because you may also forget that, oh, I didn't check this, I didn't look at this. You need to. Oh, another important inspection to do in terms of physical is to look beneath the car for like rusts and stuff like that. If you see a lot of rust, especially on where the painting is on the trim, you can tell that maybe the car has been flooded or so. That's in the case that it wasn't in an accident. Because if it's flooded, then it's gonna be written off as totaled. Let's say you tested the car, you looked at it, and everything was to your liking. You heard no sounds, handling was good, the brake was good, everything was good based off your novice experience, and you decided, yes, I'm gonna buy this car. The thing that I always do is always try to lowball, because people are never gonna sell whatever they're selling for whatever its value. They're always gonna try to get more. So if they're telling you they want $3,000 for it, chances are it's probably like actually valued at $2,500. But they always go higher so that they can have a little leverage for your lowballing. So never give the price that is asked, unless you want to give away some money, of course.